What's going on, guys? This is Will from Table the Game, and today we're going to talk about Twisted Cryptids. This is the newest game from Unstable Games. This is a publisher I've never played before, but there's a lot of things about them that really intrigued me. Some things about the game and just some things about business. And we're just going to go over it real quick, and then we'll get down to the table. We'll look at some of the gameplay. We'll look at some of the rules. I have a surprise for you guys, and then we'll get back up and kind of go over just things I liked about the game and maybe some things that I think they should work on. All right, first of all, this is a very well produced game. This was a Kickstarter exclusive edition for $29. And you just get, there's just a lot of cool things. The artwork in it is very nice. It's a little cartoonish. Now, one thing, that's the other thing about this publisher is, and I think this has to do with their marketing, is a lot of their games have very similar artwork. It's very similar themed. They may be different themes, but the artwork all kind of flows together. And I think that makes them just very recognizable if you see them on the store, if you see them wherever, okay? This one, it's always kind of like cute art, but dangerous, dangerous creatures, okay? I guess this is the only game I play, but that's kind of what I gather from seeing some of their other games is, these are cute little creatures that will hurt you. Okay, that's what I think. All right, now you got your score tracker meeples. Wooden or some type of composite. You have these human discs. Just really nice. Very nicely produced. Okay. Number two, what drew me to this company or to this game was when I looked at some of their other games that they did on Kickstarter. The campaigns just did super awesome. Like this one, I think did over $3 million. And for me, and this is nothing against them, I hadn't really seen a lot of this publisher out there, me personally. Okay, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But to see a publisher have a campaign reach that size, and at $3 million, usually when you see a $3 million campaign, it's a really large company. It's very, with all kinds of employees, they do all kinds of stuff. You don't see, and I don't know how big this company is, but you usually don't see, I'm kind of assuming they're small, but you don't see smaller companies usually hit 3 million on a campaign, but it seems like they successfully are doing that time and time again. So that just interests me as a business person. They are from my hometown. I'm from St. Louis originally. There's a suburb of Hazelwood. I've lived in Hazelwood before, and of course I'm a little partial to that, so I wanted to be a part of it. And the biggest thing out of all of it was that this is a light strategy game. And so if you guys have seen any of my posts or videos, you know that I recently just had a baby. So in my life, things have completely slowed down, and I love, deep, medium to medium heavy Euro games. That's really my favorite type of game that I would play as much as I could. I just don't have the time for it. I don't seem to be able to get those to the table as often right now. And so when I saw a game like this, they say it's like 60 minutes, but we played a game and we would play like 45 minutes. You can get through it pretty quickly, and it does come with strategic depth to it. It's simple, yet comes with rules and gameplay and stuff like that to make it, interesting for someone that likes more strategic games. So other than that, let's get down the table. Let's go over some of the rules and some of the gameplay, and then we'll get back up and I'll kind of go over what I liked about the game and then some, like I said, some things that maybe they could work on. All right, here we go. This is a 3-player game of Twisted Cryptids set up for you. I got Bigfoot, I got Nessie, I got Loveland Frog, and they are trying to go down as legends with the greatest myth as the best cryptids of all time. All right, so here's the humans that are going to be involved in this situation. So you have your hikers, you have your hunters, and you have your researchers. Okay. Now, in the beginning of the game, and I actually didn't. This is actually set up as if a round has gone. So basically, there's going to be a certain amount of these different humans set up in each game, and it's situated in each one of these locations. They tell you, like in the Maple Lake here, you're going to put a hiker and you're going to put a hunter. Okay, but as the game keeps on going, each cryptid's going to lure and attract and scare and move around hunters. There's also events that go on at the beginning of each round, and so when that happens, it's going to move around the different humans. All right, so at the beginning of the game, you start off with 5 myth. And as you are going through the game, you're going to gain myth. You may lose some. So once you've gone through this and get to the 10, you're going to grab a myth token here that's worth 10. If you've gone through it 3 times, you can convert it to a 30. And so you can start scoring some big points. All right, now, Bigfoot's probably my favorite character. I don't know why. But at the beginning of the game, you're going to take your character card. It's going to give you a special action that you can use 1 time per round. Okay, you're going to get 5 action cards. I believe they're called action cards, and these you get to play on your turn to do different things. Okay, that basically when it comes to scaring the humans, attracting the humans, sometimes you can do 1 thing, sometimes you can do 2 things. You're going to get 2 hidden trait cards. Okay, you're gonna choose one. You're gonna basically look at them, and then you're gonna choose one and discard the other one. So in this case, this one says reveal your real deals, which I'll go over in a second. So you reveal your real deals. I'm gonna keep this one, and that's gonna give me points at the end of the game if I'm able to accomplish those goals. Okay, this one says do not reveal your decoys, hoaxes, or silhouettes. Okay, I'm gonna discard this one. All right, so just to kind of explain, what these goals are. So this one says reveal your real deals. Now the other trait card that we discarded said do not reveal your decoys, your hoaxes, or your silhouettes. So those cards are in these stacks here. There's 3 stacks. Every character gets 9 cards. These are sighting cards. Now in the 9, you separate them into 3 piles of 3, and you get to decide how you do that. Okay, and so this is where you see what these cards mean. So this is a decoy card. This one's a decoy card, and that's a real deal card on the top. Okay. This one's a hoax card, and a real deal. And then, of course, the other one's going to be 2 silhouettes and a real deal. Now, here's why that's important. Is on your turn, or each round, there are 4 things that take place. There is a dawn phase, there's a day phase, there's a dusk phase, and there's a night phase. So on the dawn phase, you're going to reveal an event card. Okay, that's going to tell you to do certain things. So in this event card, it says, in player order, each player must move 1 hunter from the site with the most hunters to an adjacent site. Okay, so in this case, this one has, this one has 4. And so, I'm going to have to move it to an adjacent site. Here, if it's my turn. Now, the next turn, there's 3 and 3, so there's a tie break there. All right, so once that's all done, the other thing that takes place is extract 1 researcher from the site with the most researchers. So extract means you take it out of play into the rest area. So this site here has the most researchers, so I'll take this out and put it in the rest area. And then the last one says attract 2 hikers to the site with the fewest humans. So the fewest humans, in this case, I have, this one has 3, this one has 3, and this one has 3. So there's 3 locations with the fewest humans, and I believe the first player then gets to decide which ones they want. And so they would decide, hey, the first player is Bigfoot. So let's say that's me. I would say I get to attract 2 hikers to any location that I want. So I would, figure out which location makes the most sense to me, and I put it there. All right, so that is the dawn phase. You're gonna complete that. Okay, now you go to the day phase. In the day phase, you have 5 cards in your hand, and you get to do, you get to play these cards. And there's 3 things you can do. All right, number 1 is you can play an action card and do the thing that it says. So this says lure 1 hiker from each adjacent site. So let's say I'm going to do that. Let's say that I want a hiker in this location. This is one of my hiding locations where I had placed my 3rd token, my hiding spot. And so I'm going to get to take lure 1 hiker from each adjacent site. So there's a hiker here. I'd move it right here. There's no hiker here. There's no hiker here, and there's a hiker right here. So now that's my turn. I move on. Now, if I didn't want to do that, The other thing I can do is once per round, I can play my special action, which is lure 2 humans. Okay, so that's basically luring from an adjacent spot. I can move any 2 humans to any one of my hiding spots. So I am this blue character here. This is my 3rd hiding spot. Number 2, this is my 2nd hiding spot. And this is my 1st hiding spot. And I'm gonna go over why these numbers are important and in a second. All right, now the 3rd thing that I can do is I can just skip my turn. Sometimes it's just better not to do anything. And those are the 3 actions that I have to choose from. You're gonna go through that 3 times. So the day phase, everyone gets 3 chances to do something. So in each round on a 3-player game, there are 9 times that humans are going to be moving around, or potentially 9 times humans are going to be moving around or leaving the game or different things like that. So as you get more players, there's more movement that's going to take place, in the game. Okay, now once the day phase is done, you're going to move on to the dusk phase, and this is where the encounter takes place. All right, so the encounter takes place wherever there's the most humans. So in this situation, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 humans here. I'm the only person hiding. There's no other cryptid hiding in that spot. This one has 4, this one has 4, 3, 3, and 4. So this is the location where the encounter takes place. Okay, all these humans see me. Now let's see. Now I did not look at this beforehand, so I don't know if this is gonna be good or bad, but this is why these sighting cards are important. They're separated in 3 different spots for hiding spot number 1, hiding spot number 2, and hiding spot number 3. So in this case, hiding spot number 3 was discovered. So this is the card that now I have to do this thing. So this says I get 2 points for each hiker. I get -1 for each hunter and -1 for each researcher. So without even knowing it, this was very good for me, okay? So I get 2, 4, 6 points for each one of my hikers, and then -2, so that's 4 points. So I'm on 5, I go to 9. Okay, at this point, I'm the one that scores. Now, there's something I have to do. So during this night, you may only draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. So the night phase is the last phase, okay? So now, I've played this. Now, you can see this is a real deal. I put these on top, and the reason I put them on top is because one of my goals for the end of the game is reveal your real deals. I just revealed this. So I need to reveal, I have my real deals on the top of each one of these. So I need to be discovered on my hiding spot number 1 in the future and my hiding spot number 2 in the future. And I have 5 rounds to do it. Okay, so that's hidden there, and I'm gonna keep this out. Now, after the dusk phase goes into the night phase, and starting with the first player, they'll do 1 of 2 things. If they've been encountered, they can now place their hiding spot on a new location. They cannot put it wherever the encounter was. So I have to choose. Now, there's a couple rules I have with that. I cannot put it with another one of my hiding spots, and I can't put it where there are 3 hiding spots. So in this case, I can put it here, here, or here. And of course, I would look through and figure out where I want my hiding spot to go, and I would just place it there. Now, moving on from there, everybody else has the opportunity, if they want, to move one of their hiding spots to another location. Of course, same rules. They can't be with one of their other hiding spots, and they cannot be 3 or more. Okay, then you draw up to make sure you have 5 cards in your hand. But in my case, I can only have 3. So I can take my hand, and I can do a couple things. I can discard one of these cards and have 3, or I can completely discard all of them and draw 3 more, and you can mix and match that. And now I am not 100% sure if this is correct, but I do know that you do move the first player marker, throughout the game all the time. So I believe the first player marker would move, and we would just go from there. And then after that, the new round starts. You play another event card, and you go again, and you play 5 rounds. Once you have played 5 rounds, the game is over. You go to end time scoring. All right, guys, that is the game in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's go to the top, and we'll go over a few more things. All right, that was Twisted Cryptids. So how did you like that? That was very well produced, like I said. It's a great little game. It comes in a small box, yet it packs a big punch. Now the retail version, I'm not sure what that's going to look like. It may be like this, it may not be. I don't know. I could imagine maybe some cardboard tokens instead of these. But other than that, let's go over kind of some things that I really liked about this game. Is number one, it is accessible. You can play with a lot of different types of people, like age groups or age limits. I think it's 10 plus. It's 1 to 6 players, ages 10 plus. Okay, so you can play with, and it's easy to understand. And also to learn the rules too. It was very simple to learn the rules. They did have an awesome video that was about 5 minutes, and when I saw that, I was like, okay, sweet. It's a 5-minute video, and I have never really said this, but that is my nemesis in board games, is learning the rules. Before I started this channel, like, I never ever really wanted to learn rules, and that was my biggest hindrance for playing new games, was learning the rules. Now I've gotten a lot better at it, but still, who wants to sit there for an hour or two to learn rules? So in this game, you can learn the rules very quickly. The rule book is very easy to understand. It's easy to get through. And then to teach it as well. It's very easy to teach it. So this is perfect for 2 types of people, okay? Number one, if you are trying to bring in some new game, either young gamers or new gamers to the hobby, they're gonna catch on pretty quickly. It's not overwhelming. So they're gonna be able to have a good time. You're gonna be able to get it played quickly. You're gonna be able to teach the game probably in 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how new they are at this hobby. Number 2, I already kind of mentioned this before, is that, like myself, is I have found myself getting more games like this to the table. No, this is not my go-to game out of all the games that I like to play, but I do enjoy them. I love being able to get a game set up very quickly. You can set this game up in 5 or 10 minutes. Then you can play it in anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending how many players you have. So it's for someone that is maybe someone that likes heavy strategy games, or medium weight to heavy strategy games, but has a hard time making that 2-hour to 3-hour commitment to play it, then this is a great game to kind of substitute for that. All right, now the other thing that I really liked about this game was it is a great introduction to more complicated ones. And so let me explain. In a complicated Euro game, or a medium to heavyweight Euro game, you have a lot of actions that you have to choose from. Those actions create a lot of variability that's going to take place in the game, and so you have to pay attention to so many things. That can be overwhelming to some people, and it also makes the game take a long time. Now, in this game, it is simple to learn, but it really introduces people into that thought process of paying attention, that there's a lot of things I have to pay attention to. So the way that this game does that is in your siding cards. You have 3 siding cards that correspond with your 3 hiding spaces. Now each one of those cards, if there's an encounter and you're in that location, then there's gonna be 2 humans that are gonna hurt you. They're gonna bring your myth track down and you're gonna lose points. One of the humans is gonna really help you, and your myth track's going to go up, of course. But throughout the game, that's changing. During the day phase, each opponent is moving and bringing humans in. They're shuffling humans around, scaring them, luring them, extracting them, doing all kinds of different things. And so that is changing throughout each round, and you have to pay attention to what's going on to each one of your hiding spots, because you may have a plan that I want to get my hiding spot number 1. That's what I want this turn. I want to be discovered on hiding space number 1. But throughout the day phase, that may turn on you, and you may get discovered on your hiding spots number 2 or 3, and that will hurt you. And so you paying attention to that throughout the round, it takes a little bit more than a standard game, and that part, I think, really makes this game special. It kind of puts it right in the middle to where it's not too complicated, but it's really gives you just a little bit more to look at than a standard simple game that you may play. All right, now the other thing is this game really works well at a high player count. In fact, there's a lot of tug of war going on because you're trying to push humans to a certain spot, or you're trying to push them away from you or to you in different areas, and that's going on throughout. Each opponent is trying to do the same thing. So there's this tug of war going on. So what I discovered, or what I thought, is that the more people that are that are playing, this is a 6-player game, the more fun it is. And that, I usually don't like playing games at 4, 5, and 6 player counts. For me, my favorite player count is 3, typically. Now in this game though, the higher the player count, I believe it creates more tension and it creates more of that tug of war feeling. And I don't think it really makes the length of the game go very far at that point. Now, so let's go over, that's a great segue into some things that I think that they should work on this game. And that is, I'll just kind of speak on that. It's the player count. I have only played this game with 4+ players. Okay, now my feeling, I haven't done this and I don't know, but just from my plays, I just felt like it would fall short if I was playing like at 2 players. I don't know the solo version, I haven't looked at that, but if I was playing with 2 players or even 3. At 4, I felt there was times I was like, hey, this would be better if we had a 5th player. It would just create more tension. It would be, some of your decisions would just be more impactful. You'd be able to, there'd be more people doing things that could create more havoc for you or help you. So the problem with a higher player count is, for me anyway, I don't always have a higher player count available. I play a lot of 2-player games and a lot of 3-player games. I usually don't play very many 4+ games. All right, now the last thing I think the publisher should consider, especially if they ever make a second edition, is how they make some of the tie-break decisions. Now in this game, a few of the tie-breaking decisions are done by a player. Now in some games, that is perfectly okay and it makes perfect sense and it works, okay? In this game, I feel like there'd be a better way, as if the game itself made the decision for you in these tie breaks. Okay, now, let me give an example. So at the end of the day phase, into the dusk, there's an encounter. So whichever location has the most humans, that's where the encounter is. Now, if there's 2 locations that have the same amount of humans, there's a tie break. And the way that the rules say that you do the tie break is that the first player makes that decision. So one of the games we played, I was on both of these spots that had the tie. Now one of them, I won the game. I was going to blow it out of the water. That's what I was working on. That's what I wanted to get done the whole time. The other one, I was losing the game. Okay, now my daughter who was playing, she was on only the 1 location, but none of us got to make that decision. It was the first player, which was my wife. Now, whether she knew I was going to lose the game or not, she chose the location that had both of us. And at the end of the day, I lost the game. But what I didn't like about that was that she had no skin in the game. I mean, she wasn't even a part of this fight. She just says, okay, she just made a decision. And there was no strategic reason why that decision was made. And for a strategy game, I feel like there's always luck in every game, has some level of luck. But in this case, it was just, I lost that battle for no reason, okay? So I personally, what I told my family, I said, you know what, I really think the game should have made the decision. So I just came up with this. I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. This is just something that I felt like would make more sense. Is I was in one location and I was the only cryptid in that location. The other location had me and my daughter in there. I said I would have had the game choose that one. It had 2 cryptids in that location. So thematically, most likely they're going to be discovered before you have 1 person discovered or 1 cryptid discovered. Now I still would have lost the game, but at least it would have made, for me, thematic sense. Now other than that, I mean, I'm not a game designer, so there could be some other ways to handle that, but that was really my biggest issue with the game. But all in all, you know, this is a good game. I feel like for the money, you get a lot of game out of it. There's also, it came with a lot of expansions in this version. And so, you know, definitely once we've played this a few times, if we need more, we can add more to it. All right, guys, and the last thing I want to go over is when I got this game, I have really dropped the ball this year. I wanted to do a lot more giveaways than I have. I do have actually a lot of games to give away that I haven't, but I did buy another copy of Twisted Cryptids. It's in the box. Now these guys are awesome. They sent 2 boxes. I think these 2 boxes were in one big box, and so I don't even have to do anything. I can just ship this just like this. But basically, we're gonna do a giveaway. All I need you to do is comment. You know, what is your favorite light strategy game? I would really like to know, because I am playing a lot of these games now that I don't have, because I don't have a lot of time to get out, you know, 2 or 3 hour games. So these are perfect games for me right now in my life. And so I would love to hear from you guys which games, you know, you really enjoy. That is a strategy game that does come with some intense gameplay, but is lighter. It's a little easier to set up. So man, I appreciate everybody for watching. Please, if you enjoy this content, please subscribe. That it means the world to me. Like the video, and if you do have anybody that you know that likes this type of stuff, go ahead and share this video. So guys, you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.